Hello everyone, it's Jill here and welcome to my craft. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've just recently purchased this beautiful, lovely indigo blue mixed media special kit, and I thought I'd take you through some of the items that are in it and make a little mixed media thing. So first off, it's always difficult to see with these things. You get a tiny little picture in the corner, and of course you never know how big these things are going to be or the quality of them, although I have to say Indigo Blue are normally pretty good. I do have a lot of their stuff already. So let's have a look. So I've taken it out of the box, so that's the outer box. So to start with, there is an A4 sheet of clear rubber stamps, and I have to say they are absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful size, full size ones of these. Lovely balloon. There's a lot of words. There's the beautiful flowers there, and the train, absolutely gorgeous train for the size of that, really lovely. And the track, really lovely for men's cards. And then I think this is the Elizabeth Bennet stamp. I think it's one of their older ones that they've had for quite some time. And then we've got words and smaller little infill stamps. So that is really, really lovely. So we're going to have a play with some of those. And then also there's a tiny little die. This little moth. I have cut this out. I have to say, for me, I found this a little bit fiddly because I'm not really a fiddly die person, but it does cut all right, provided you don't mind poking out. There we go. There's a couple of them there, so we'll have a look at those. We may use them in a bit in the little project that we're going to do. So we'll just pop that over to one side, and then there's a beautiful. Just move that out of the way so you can get a better view of this. There's a beautiful stencil. I really could have done with putting something darker behind that, couldn't I? So you could see that a bit better. Let's have a look. This is one of the papers. How's that? So there we go. So you've got almost like a postal mark, some dots, some little runs and splats. So they're very nice as well. There's an embossing folder, about a C6 size. That looks as though it ties in quite nicely with the flower stamps. I'm not going to use that today, but I will do another day. And then there's the papers. And I've taken the papers out of the magazine. That's the magazine, and you get all sorts of inspirational little ideas in there, little projects that you can follow along with, etc. So there's quite a lot in there as well. So with the papers, beautiful, lovely quality, beautifully coloured, loads of images you can cut out and use as they are, background papers, really lovely set this is. It's well worth the money. I actually paid £12.99 for it, which is, yeah, it's quite enough for a magazine. But to be honest, when I opened it up and I saw the quality of what was inside, I was quite well impressed with that. Very good value for money. So I'm going to use a few of these papers, or one of the papers anyway, with the little project I've got in mind. Now then, some time ago, I started these little books with my friend. So one's hers, one's mine. And we just share them around and do various little bits and pieces in them. As you can see, that's a spare page. Now they're made of grunge board, grunge paper actually, so it's quite pliable. There's one, there's the other. As you can see, we've still got lots to infill. Some have just got background papers, but we're working on them. So what I've done, let's pop those over there. What I've done is I've painted two pieces with acrylic, so one to go into each book, acrylic paint. So that's the one there. This one actually has already got something on that side, so I very carefully did that around. So it's quite It's quite pliable, it's quite forgiving, this paper. You can do all sorts with it. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's have a look. So let's start with, I thought I would like to start with some of the paper, and the stamp I'm going to use first of all is the Elizabeth Bennet one. So let's open that up then and get going. Always fun opening up new stamps. As I said, these are really, really good quality. Let's pull her off. It's really hard as well when you get them. It's almost like they've been suctioned on there with super sucker. Let's pull it off. You won't hurt it. Just pull it off like so. And that's it. And where did I put my little blocks? There they are there. Pop her onto there. I think you maybe need a slightly bigger one. Let's move that out of the way there for the moment. Did I have a square one? Yes, I had a square one. Let's pop her onto there. That's good. And I'm going to cut some of this background paper. I'm going to stamp it straight onto one of these. Bearing in mind I've got the green, and that is quite a busy stamp. That looks quite nice. It keeps it all very muted tone. So let's cut a little piece of that off then. What's on the other side? Oh yeah, I can live with that. There we go. Just pop that out of the way for the moment. And ink wise, I think we'll go with some Sapphire Onyx Black. Could probably do with a little bit of scrap paper as well, just to stamp off once or twice before I go onto the main image here, onto the main background. Because it's a new stamp, it may just need that little couple of stamps on it just to, what I call, season it up. Onto there. It's not done too bad anyway. It's really lovely, isn't it? Gorgeous. There we go. Yes, it's not stamping quite so well in the middle there, is it? Let's try it anyway. Bear that in mind when I stamp it onto the paper. There you go. Let's go with there, I think. Let's pop it back into shot. So she comes out first time. As I said, I know it's not stamped the best in the middle for the moment. Let's just have a look. Oh, lovely. She's come out lovely. Right. Let's pop that to one side. I'm just going to colour in the little flowers, I think. And I've got myself some watercolour pencils here just to do that. Let's have a little go. We start with the poppies. Just with that tiny little bit of colour. So you can either move these around in a minute with the water or with your water brush, or just leave them as they are. You don't have to do water on it. You can just build it up and use them just plain coloured pencils, which is quite nice. One in there, just to give it that tiny little bit of colour, tiny little bit of interest. Let's go with, I'm looking at the little magazine there, just for that little bit of inspiration, to see where the little flowers are. There we go. So I can see there's one here, one here, one here, one here, just to give it that little bit of definition. There we go. I don't think that's looking too bad. Let's give it a bit of green. She's a lovely stamp, this one. As I said, it's one of their older stamps. And it's one I've always quite liked, actually, and I've never really purchased. So this is good. Right, that looks all right. Let's come in with a little bit of white, I think. Perhaps a little bit of white round here. And back to here with a little bit of green, I missed that. So yes, you can just layer up quite nicely. Just to I don't get very lost in colouring. I do also find it very therapeutic. And then I have my Posca pen. Then we're just going to do a bit of the old white splobs. Seems to be will do. Seems to be the in thing these days, doesn't it? And it always does look quite nice. Right, so what are we going to do with you, Mrs. I think I will do a little bit of stenciling. That I think would be quite nice. Just probably might do all of that there. So what have I got? Vintage photo. Should we go with vintage photo? What else have I got? Gathered twigs. Maybe a bit softer than the vintage photo. So let's go with a piece of that then. What have I done with my little sponges? This will do. Oh, lovely. Isn't that gorgeous? That is really nice. A bit of randomness over there. Lovely. Ooh, really quite like that. And then what I might do is I might do something around the edge. In fact, what I might do in actual fact is dry it off first. I'll start smudging it everywhere. Lovely. Right, what should we put around the edges then? Bearing in mind she's that and that. Shall we go with a bit of red, maybe? So I've got some fired brick. Lovely. That's it, just bring a little bit more colour into the actual main thing itself. Right, I think that looks quite nice. And then I think I'm going to tear her. Yeah, just pop her down there, I think. That'd be really nice. Probably just give her a little edging of the red as well. Let's pop her down there. And come back to my little paper pad before I stick her down. And I'm just going to have a look, see what little words we can pop, if we've got anything we can put in there. Trust your strength, that looks good. We'll go with that one. Sorry, it's a bit off camera. There we go. Maybe pop that down there. Beautiful. Lovely. Edge that in a little bit of red just to bring it all in together. Lovely. Right, so I'm just going to use a little bit of my PVA for this. If I can get the end out. Right, let's go to plan B. Let's go with this little bit of PVA I've got over here. No, we won't. Sorry, everybody. I have not got my glue ready. Let's got a little bit of Pritt stick I've got here. Just when you thought you had everything planned. All goes out the window. Right, there we go. Trust your strength. And Elizabeth Bennet. How lovely is that? So that's one. What I'd probably do is just do a little few gemstones or something around the edges as well, just to finish it off. That would be really nice. Or I could even use some, what else have I got here? Some little liquid pearls. That would dry quite nice. Let's go with some little, this colour with little liquid pearls. Check that's running. Perhaps a couple down the bottom. So there she is. She looks lovely. So that's the first of the two that I was going to show you. And let's come on to the second one. Let's pop her to one side to dry. This one here, I'm going to do the hot air balloon because that's another one I really, really like. Oh, they're all so good, it's a job to know really. Again, let's get the super suction off. There we go. So that's that one. Where's my block? Pop that onto my block. And let's have a word off. Shall we have explore? We will use that in a minute. Let your dreams fly. We'll look at those in a moment. Right, for this one, I rather thought I'd stamp it onto a piece of card, and I found some shockingly yellow card here. It's got a slight embossed filter, but I'm going to use the back side of it here. I think this will tone down quite nicely once we stamp it because it is quite busy here, and if not, we will use some pencils again just to make sure it isn't glaringly in our face. We don't want that. We wanted something quite muted, but when I looked at the papers I didn't really see anything there that had enough contrast for me with this stamp. So again, stamp it once or twice just to season it. Oh, look at that. I'll probably go straight to the paper now. We're fine with that one. There we go. Back to one side. So we're just going to fussy cut this out in a moment. So that ink transfer. Oh, how wonderful is that? Absolutely right. Let's just give it a quick blast. Right, I'm also just going to do this word explore. Put that onto there. It seems to be quite squishy, this one, so that's better. It's got to have I think it's a distressed look anyway to match the other stamps. Right, so let's just no, we would just colour it first. So what shall we do to bring this down a tone or two? Let's go with, bearing in mind we're going on the green again, let's go with some lovely oranges. I think oranges, browns. Okie doke. And I've got a slightly better, slightly lighter orange. Don't know if I want to keep that flag on it or not. I might cut that off. It's a bit fiddly for me. Yes, I'm only going to give this a really quick go over. Don't want to be here for ages. Something you can play with yourselves. I might get the water brush on this one as well, actually. And see how that just brings it down that tone or two. Let's pop a little bit of brown into there. Right, dudes, where's my water brush? There's my water brush. See how that's mellowed out. Lovely. Oh, yes. Gorgeous. Not putting too much water on it because this isn't exactly a watercolour card. But there we go. So, clear the decks. Just give that a little tiny blast of colour, of heat, sorry. Right, let's get going. This is a lovely stamp for men's cards. So when you're cutting, always try and move the card as much as possible. Try and keep your scissors relatively still. I am going to cut that flag off. There we go. So that's just going to sit there. Just go with this word explore. Yes, get rid of that and come in with that little, just to finish it off and tie it in with the other one, with the balloon. Just do that. There we go. And for the background, I think I am going to use these little dots again, in actual fact. I do rather like those. But I won't come in such a dark colour. I think I will come in with, is there any blue? Which blue shall we use? Let's go with Broken China. Just to add something a little bit different. Yes, lovely. A bit more up here. And again, I think we'll go around the edges in the blue. Bearing in mind I've got something on the other side of this. But this is, as I said, this is grunge paper. It's very, very forgiving. Should really use it more. Let's bring that in. Brilliant. And I've got these little words here. I'm just going to stick them down as well. And we're going to put that balloon there. Right, let's just make sure before I do that, before I stamp it directly down, just check we've got the right way. Yes. Put that on there for a second. Beautiful. Just pop that there. And where's my word? Explore. I think that looks gorgeous. Right, bit of blue. Where are we? down there. What I'll do with that in actual fact is just to flatten that down. Actually, let's put this one down first. Explore. I was going to put that down on there to flatten that. There we go. I think that could do with a few more little embellishments around the edge. So anything else that you have in your kits, have we got any stampings here we can do? Maybe we'll stamp this one as well. It needs something else because it's not quite finished. Not to my eye, it's not quite finished anyway. I like a bit more on my cards and things that I do. Let's go with this. There we go. That's because there is something on the other side of that. But look, just filled in the blank. Doesn't matter. But it has finished off the page. There we go. So it's all about fiddling, she says. But there we go. I hope you enjoyed that anyway, everyone. I hope it's given you some inspiration. But I can definitely recommend the kit. It really is well worth the money. Take care, everyone. See you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.